welcome to Marveling. Alrighty, so I'm Victoria.
I'm Jessie.
And this is our page, Marveling Explorers.
Yay!
So, you're probably wondering why we're doing a YouTube channel right now. Who's gonna watch us? Probably nobody. Probably
we're just gonna
maybe our parents. And maybe that's it. That's all we need, really.
Yeah.
If you're new here, if you're not a friend or a family member, me and Jessie used to have a really cool life, and we went to a lot of places and stuff and did lots of Instagram-worthy things, and then we got pregnant with twins. But then we still did cool stuff, and it was really exciting, but I was pregnant near the beginning of the
COVID epidemic.
Panoramic. And it was just, we've been inside all this time. So ironically, we used to have all these crazy adventures, and we always wanted to do a YouTube channel. We never did it.
No.
And now we're in the house and we're like, let's do it. But I don't know what happened. This is all we're not cut out.
Well, it's our first time.
It's our first video.
Yeah.
I'm sure hopefully one day we'll look back and be like, oh my God, look at how bad we were at it. Now look at us, we're pros. Or this will be our only video and that's it. And then it's like, oh well, we tried. Yeah. Because if we don't succeed right now with this video, we're gonna give up.
If we don't get like 1 million views right now,
it's over.
We might dub this over.
We might just be like this, but their voices don't sync with it. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so welcome to our channel, Marveling Explorers.
Marveling Explorers.
Marveling Explorers.
And me.
And me.
Alright, well, should we talk about what we're going to be doing? What do you think?
Yeah.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
But, so basically, for now, because again, we are quarantining with our twins, thank God we have been able to stay healthy and safe so far. As the next video, it's like, we got COVID. No, don't say that.
Oh,
anyways.
Too soon.
I know. For now, we are going to make this a movie review channel. We love the movies. Like, even before this whole thing, we just love going to the movies and staying in and watching movies. It's just our shtick. And now they're releasing more movies this year than they did last year. So why not? Hopefully you like us. Don't be mean, because that's why I never made a YouTube channel to begin with, because I'm ugly. And then it's been 30 years and I'm still ugly, so I guess it's not going away.
No.
So that's why it's like, oh well, let's just make the channel now. Like and subscribe, whatever.
Right here, maybe, or
I don't know. Is it here? Is it there?
We don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah, we barely even knew how to record this thing. For now, let's get into our very first episode. Our very first movie that we are reviewing on our channel is ZACK SNYDER'S
Justice League. Where do we begin?
Where do you even begin with this movie? For me, full disclosure, I'm not a fan of the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe.
Hot take.
It's not really a hot take.
For me, on the other hand, I am a huge fan of DC. I like watching the cartoons. I like watching all the movies, except for Justice League. But
we'll get to that.
Okay. Batman vs. Superman did have some problems, but overall it was a pretty good movie, I think. Yeah, I just like all DC movies, you know.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is his director's version, was his vision, but basically
Google it.
He made the movie, a family tragedy happened, he ended up leaving the project, Joss Whedon came in. So we are going to be referring to the first Justice League as the Justice League.
Yeah.
They made that one, and it was a flop and a half.
It was terrible.
It was tonally all over the place.
And we went to the theater to see it. We paid money to see it.
We did go pay money to see it. I'm a huge fan of the MCU. and love the MCU. Love it, love it, love it. And I love what they did. They took their time. And with DCEU, they just were rushing in. DC has all these toys to play with, and the Justice League was so much of a letdown. Like, it was insulting, really.
I can't even describe how disappointed I was in that movie. Because I was really excited for Justice League. I like Batman vs. Superman. Where it was going, I was like, okay, they're setting it up, you know, here we go. And then it was just like, you know, I was like, what is this? What's going on here? You know what? We're not here to talk about Justice League. We're here to talk about ZACK
Snyder Cut. He started watching it last night because with the babies, it's hard to carve out time, and Snyder Cut is 4 hours long.
That's a really big commitment.
We got up until 1 a.m., but Jesse has work,
yeah,
and so we have to just cut it short. And
I really wanted to sit to see it, but
yeah,
I couldn't.
And so we just finished watching it, like just finished it completely. It's done. So I haven't even told him how I felt about it as a whole, because he has been very excited about this movie, like very excited.
I would always tell you, like, did you know about, you know, X, Y, and Z, and you'd have to hear it.
And I would just be like, I don't care. And it was really sad because he's like super excited about it. And I was like, I don't like those movies. What could they possibly do? So Jesse Craig, I have to say, I get the hype now. And you were right. It was amazing. Like,
it was so good.
To say the words that Justice League was so good is crazy, because I did not see that coming at all. No, because that was, I applaud it. Basically, I applaud it. I really, really liked it. And I have to say that it's a 4-hour movie, and I really want to watch it again.
Me too. I want to watch it too. I don't have to work tomorrow. I do want to watch it again. But
we also have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That'll be another video, hopefully.
Yeah.
But Snyder Cut. I took notes because I want to make this thorough for anybody who really does care about movie reviews and is wondering.
Snap.
So I took notes in my Backstreet Boy official notebook from middle school.
Whoa. It's really hard for me to, you know, put into words how I feel. I feel vindicated a bit, but it's also too, you know, just thinking like reviewing this movie, like, are we doing spoilers right now?
Oh yes. So that's another thing. And I'll put up an alert and everything. This is going to be a completely spoiler review. So if you have not seen the movie, who am I talking to? Hi, Mom. But if you haven't seen the movie, Mom, don't watch this if you don't want it to get spoiled. It's a 4-hour movie. There's 6 parts plus an epilogue, so technically 7 parts. We're gonna go break it down by part.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Dang, I should have taken notes.
So what we did was we watched Justice League literally right before we started watching Snyder Cut, because I literally only saw it the one time, and I just remember that I didn't like it, but I was like, I don't remember a lot of it, and I wanted to compare.
You would know I hated the movie. I did watch it a few times.
But it was rated R, so already that was different. The opening, just from the jump, the whole, there's gonna be a lot of me rambling in terms of like, I can't believe how crazy different, like, I just want to know who approved the Justice League one. Who did it? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. It's insane. Justice League starts off with this stupid scene where there's some guy, a criminal, and Batman goes and gets him.
Something about fear.
Yeah, they can smell fear. And at this point, you're like, who's they? And he's like, oh, that was a parademon. And then he leaves the criminal, and he's like, oh.
How does he know he's a parademon?
Exactly. And then it goes into the credits with very, like, Watchmen-y, where it's slow motion to a song, and they're showing Superman's memorial.
And then people become racist?
Yeah, people become racist when Superman died, and it was like, okay. It's like the Justice League was so into going.
No character development. Like, it's just like, hurry it up, like, get on to the next joke, action, joke, action, like, joke, you know, and then it's like the end. I feel like it's hard to talk about the Snyder Cut and not reference what came before it, like this Justice League.
Yeah, so we are going to be going back and forth on that a little bit.
Because it's hard to talk about it.
The opening from the jump is different. It's showing when Superman died in the last movie in Batman versus Superman.
Oh yeah, and then he's
like screaming, and they're showing everybody hearing him screaming. It kind of put more emphasis on Superman because I thought that Justice League didn't really. Everybody was just kind of not there. You know what I mean?
They're very hollow. I feel like I think that's the best way to describe it. Like they're super hollow. Like I don't know. It's just like Kirito, let's get this done. The Snyder Cut took its time.
Granted that he was allowed to because they gave him like, okay, here, fine. Everybody wants this version, go for it. And then he took his time. So yes, it was long. Yes, there were things that could have been shaved.
But it didn't feel long though.
It didn't. So the beginning starts with the scream, a tiny montage, not as long as the other one, with Superman's death. And then we get to part 1 of the movie. Don't Count It a Batman, which focused on Aquaman and Batman and their interaction. The Snyder Cut's Aquaman was way more serious. But not in the way that, because that's my thing with the DCU. You don't have to be, you're not going to be Marvel. Don't be Marvel. You can be your own thing. But I just feel like the Zack Snyder movies of Superman have just been so dark and like not fun that it's like a chore. But with the way they had Aquaman in this movie, I actually really liked it. Because in the other one, he's really like, they have this rock music and he's like, oh, yeah.
Are you from like the 80s or
like,
something?
In the other one, Batman just shows up. Does anybody know about this guy that's like a water person or a merman? And then he looks on a wall, and because they're just trying to speed it up for whatever reason, there's a picture of Jason Momoa.
They basically spell it out for you.
Yes, because they're probably dumb. Let's just put this on there. They have a drawing of Jason Momoa with the 3 stupid mother boxes, and it's like... And this one, the Snyder Cut, they don't have a drawing, which is so much better. Just that, like, right there, when they took out that drawing, I was already like, I like this movie.
I feel like for Aquaman, he was kind of like the reluctant hero, you know, like, and I got that more. And especially in his own movie too, they kind of played on that too, you know. So I really like that.
Yeah, there was more Martha Lane. No, there was more.
Why did you say that name?
There was more of Martha, Superman's mom, and Lois Lane in this movie, which was funny because when they first showed Lois Lane in this one, Jessie was like, wait a minute, was Lois Lane in Justice League? And I was like...
I didn't remember for the life of me.
I was like, I know she had like a couple scenes, but this one definitely emphasized their love story more.
Yeah, I think it worked way better here in this one than it has in the other movies. You know?
Wonder Woman. I
remember I took you to go see that movie, and you didn't really want to see it, right? No. But you were surprised. You're pleasantly surprised.
I was.
Emily cried, I think.
I cried real hard during the No Man's Land scene. It was crazy. I was like, She seemed way more powerful in this one. Like, I don't know if I'm like making that up, but like her punches were like making people fly.
She was kicking dudes. Like,
she was so cool.
It reminded me of No Man's Land. You know?
It was good. Like, the slow-mo was just enough. I still don't quite get what the people's intentions were, because they said something about 1,000-year darkness or something. It was all very vague. It was very generic.
Bring them back into the Dark Ages or something like that. I don't know how they're going to do it with a bomb, but whatever.
I don't know. Then she obliterates the guy, which they don't show in the first one. She just does her thing, and then he's gone. Just gets dusted. And it was so cool, and I like that they showed, like, that he died, because the other one is just implied, and this one was like, no, like, she killed him. Oh, that was pretty crazy. It was such a good scene. Afterwards, they show her, and she's making sure everybody's okay, which is really sweet, because she's such a sweet angel baby, and she's just like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I really liked that, like, because I love her. My one gripe, dare I say it. So there's a part in Snyder Cut where she's checking on everybody, and it's great. And there's a little girl that's like freaked out because Wonder Woman just obliterated somebody. So that's gotta be traumatizing.
It must have hurt her ears too.
So then she tells her, like, what's wrong, princess? And I was like, oh, I wish she'd call me princess. But then it's like, I want to be like you when I grow up. And then she's like, you can be anything you want to be. which is very sweet. I just thought it was kind of corny. I don't know.
It is corny. It is
kind of corny. I don't know. That's my controversial take on it. That I was like, you can't be Wonder Woman. Then we go to Themyscira. Oh.
This part was, I really like this part.
Ah.
They give the Amazonians their moment, you know? You know, Steppenwolf comes out, right? Comes out. Like, it happened in Justice League, whatever, and he just kind of mows over all of them. But in this one, you know, they actually fight back, which was dope.
It was so good because they say this line, and it
that
so
was
good
a badass line.
because he's like, he gets there. Oh, so Steppenwolf gets there from the mother box. It's kind of the same, and they all have their arrows pointed, like ready to fight. And then he's like, "Oh, like show me your fear," or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Like I'm messing up that name. Queen Hippolyta, Wonder Woman's mom. She's like, "The Mascarians, show him your fear," and they're like, "We have no fear." Oh,
brilliant,
magnificent.
They shoot the guy with a bunch of arrows.
Yes, and they fought back. Like, again, going back, like they just, even when he was chasing them, like they were fighting. The other movie, he just hit them and they're dead. In this one, they were like hitting him with a bunch of arrows. They were cutting him. They were doing stuff. They were cutting people in half. Like, it was so good. Like, at least they tried in this one, which was so much better. It went more with what Wonder Woman was and what it just showed us. And then it's like, okay, yes, they would fight back. One of the biggest things that I had a problem with, besides everything in Justice League, was just how dirty they did Wonder Woman and the Amazons. Like, they really just made them look like punks. Like, they just got
owned.
That's still a thing? Owned?
I don't know. Bringing it back.
Bringing back owned. But
yeah,
like,
cut that
out. In the first one, they have the mother box. The queen takes the box, and all the Amazons are like, they sacrifice themselves, basically, like, close the gates. And it's like this big temple. And so Steppenwolf's in there with the parademons. The queen's bummed about it. She leaves. They close the gates. All these people sacrifice themselves. It should be sad because it should be sad. But in the original, Steppenwolf just walks through the wall like nothing, and it just totally takes away from it because he's like, close the gates, like that was weird, and then he just crashes through. And this one in Snyder Cut, I loved it so much because they close the gates.
Yeah.
She gets out. She's really sad because her warriors, her family, like her sisters are all in there. And then the whole temple just falls into the ocean. And it's so epic. It's so tragic. It's really beautiful. And I was like, damn it, like this is so good. Like this is what I wanted. And granted, he still lives. The parademons still live. So they did die for nothing. But still, at least this one has
got a moment.
Yeah. Steppenwolf was also a huge improvement because I literally had just told Jessie when we were watching Justice League that I was like, with the MCU, with Thanos, he has a look about him. All the villains, even if they're crappy villains, like you can tell villains from their design. And all of the Steppenwolf, Doomsday, like they just look like rocks to me. Like, they need to look different. Like put some color on them because I don't know who's who. Like I really don't know.
It was really interesting the way they did Steppenwolf. Like he had like this weird armor.
He was like
spiky, shiny armor.
He looked like a bubble because he was like bluish purple in the light, which I really liked. And they changed his face. He looked
like a catfish before.
Yeah, and they introduced 2 new bad guys in this movie, and I liked it because I could tell who was who for the very first time. I was like, okay. That's Steppenwolf. That's Darkseid. That's the other guy whose name I have.
Or something.
Desaad. And this is still part 1. They never said in part 1 the word mother box, which
mother's
coming. Like
mother says.
Yes. So now we are in part 2, which was called Age of Heroes.
So now we start really deviating from Justice League, right? So we have Steppenwolf finding a base of operations, basically. which is like some, I don't know, like Chernobyl, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
But even with that, okay, in Justice League, he just shows up at a nuclear power plant and then puts the box in a slab, and it's like, why?
What is that slab?
What is this? Why this spot in particular? Like, I just like explanations. And then the biggest there's so many annoyances, but in Justice League, when he goes to this nuclear city and is like, here you go.
Yeah, one family living
There's
there.
one family living next to the power plant that's abandoned, just sending out radiation.
Like, butts growing out of their heads.
And it was like, what? And for whatever reason, they show this family throughout the whole movie.
I don't know.
In this one, Steppenwolf is like, it's toxic. This is perfect for my mother boxes or whatever. Yeah. And even just that little thing was like, okay, I accept that. After that, they send out the arrow to Diana, which was kind of basically the same as Justice League. But what I loved about it, again, was that they made it longer. They emphasized it, made it more dramatic. Yeah. Diana sees it. She goes to the arrow, which was not in the other movie. And that is where she sees Darkseid's story, the villain story. She goes underneath to this cave.
That was scary. Mm-hmm. Because, like, you had, like, these scary hieroglyphs. Like, you got, like, it almost looks like kind of like demons, like,
yeah, it was
eating
really
people, like, killing people. And then you got, like, the forces of man kind of trying to fight them off, you know?
Even in that, there were no words, but you could get a sense that something big was going on.
They specifically named Darkseid in Justice League. Like, they say for Darkseid. You know?
Do they?
Like, yeah, like Steppenwolf says that for Darkseid. That's the only time they ever reference Darkseid, you know? But, I mean, then they cut him out. I don't know, maybe... No, I don't know. You know, I don't know.
The battle was a lot cooler. It felt like 300.
Yeah, I thought that was Leonidas. Like,
I was like, that's weird.
I was like, Gerard Butler? Is Gerard Butler back?
And explain the mother boxes. You know, you get the three, you put them together, they create a unity, and then they make the world hell, basically.
Yeah.
But it made more sense, because in the other one, I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was like, what? They just kept saying the mother boxes, but I didn't get what that meant, and then it was just, I didn't get it. So because I didn't get it, and because I didn't care, they made it like, I don't care about this villain. Whereas this one was like, oh, okay, like, that's bad. I like that they showed Ares, which was funny. Like, the villain from Wonder Woman Smasher.
No, you know what part I liked too in that whole sequence, you know, when they fought and stuff like that, was the Green Lantern guy. I thought, if you look at the comic, he's just like goofy looking guy. And I thought it was really cool the way they did him. And then obviously, like, spoiler alert, Darkseid kills him, you know? It's crazy, he chops his hand off.
Yeah.
And then, like, the ring comes off, and then it flies. He tries to get it, like, it's like, oh, my ring. And then, but it flies away. To who? I don't know.
Also, in part 2, they show Aquaman. They have Willem Dafoe.
Oh, how can they cut Willem Dafoe?
How do you cut Willem Dafoe?
Our good friend Willem Dafoe.
Our gorgeous friend Willem Dafoe. It was like a nice setup for Aquaman, I thought. And just more serious, because Justice League, again, they have a part where he saves a fisherman and then he walks outside and he's drinking and they have some stupid like rock song and it's like
White Stripes.
And then it's not a stupid song, it's just, you know what I mean. And then this one, he's walking to like a slow song and it's more like contemplative, and then he gets to the water and they have the part, I was literally like Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood just going
the trailer, right?
That's the part that was in the trailer. The Whedon one cut off the part with Aquaman with like the water going over him. It was just, again, little thing, but it was so cool, and they didn't have it. They had it in Snyder Cut. So that was interesting seeing Aquaman's backstory, and that was part 2.
Violet.
The twins. Violet, people, Violet. So we're just making her bottle. So a brief intermission. Even though we're not even halfway.
Oh, God.
You're crazy. Go bed.
Almost sorry.
Go bed. It is going to be midnight. Go sleep.
Oh, she's so cute.
She's super cute.
She has your little shifty eyes, like when you're up to no good, you know?
Right. Let me see here quick. We're tuning our guitar. It is like midnight, and you're awake for our review.
You need to go to bed, mamas.
Go bed. Go sleep.
Go sleep, little
Don't
girl.
look at the lights. It'll burn your little corneas.
I need to look, mama.
I need to look. Hey. She's like the Notebook. I look at my notes.
Mama.
Okay. We'll be back again. Say goodnight.
Good night, ma.
So now, back in it.
Yeah.
We are now in part 3, which was called Beloved Mother, Beloved Son. So we finally get to see Barry Allen and Victor Stone and their origins, and it was so good. So good. Got like a whole action set piece for the Flash.
Oh, yeah.
It had everything.
Right?
It had humor,
Steaks.
stakes,
Oh, love it.
drama, a love interest. It reminded me of Quicksilver from Days of Future Past a little bit. It kind of gave me those vibes because he was going so fast and everything was like slow around him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because they didn't really show that in the other one.
No.
That was interesting. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I loved that scene. With Justice League's Barry Allen, there you could just see, I could see where they did reshoots because like the actor Ezra Miller, he looked different in the reshoots. I freaking hate the part when Batman's in his lab and then he's like, oh, I don't understand people. What's brunch? What is that? You stand in line and you get lunch. And you can just see like his haircut's different and the color's different and everything's different.
It's a green screen, right?
It's a green screen. It looks like a green screen.
Yeah.
And it's like, you really, Joss Whedon or whoever, all of you, reshot. You added that brunch scene thinking that was funny, and it wasn't funny, but you cut his whole scene like
with the
dogs and like that his scene in Snyder Cut established him, and it made me instantly like him because I really didn't care for him in Justice League. I thought he was kind of annoying, and I was like,
yeah, well,
I see what you're doing. You're trying to make him the comic relief, but you're trying too hard. In this part 3, it was all about Cyborg and Flash, and honestly, Cyborg was like the heart of this movie, really.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he was the hero. He would try to sacrifice himself, and he had a really sad backstory, which they didn't even really touch upon in the last one. Like, we never got to see how he was created. He was just there.
All we got was like he was in an explosion. That was it.
Yeah, and the other one, it's like, what happened to you? And he's like, oh, I was in an explosion, and then I woke up in a lab, and it was like, no. In Snyder Cut, it's so much sadder because we find out that Cyborg has daddy issues, that his dad was not there for him. He's a football star. His mom loves him, and they're close. And then on the way home from a game, they get into an accident, and his mom dies. And then he loses an arm and his legs and his eye, and it's like really like
crazy
looking. Like, oh man, poor guy. And then his dad brings him back. But it was nice just getting a Cyborg story because in Justice League, he's just there like, oh, I'm a monster. Oh. And then he was hiding, and then that was kind of it. We established that he's a nice person because he gave that one lady money.
I think that was really cool how they did show like how he talks to computers and like that whole like other kind of like realm, the computer realm, and it was like him in there. And I think in the end it really tied nice too with the mother boxes or whatever.
Yeah, but I really, really liked Cyborg's backstory a lot. And just the fact that they included him because he was not in the other one, which is so messed up. They cut like
all his scenes?
All the scenes.
And he's a pretty good actor, I feel like.
He was. And I was going to say that too. Like, we haven't really talked about the acting. He was like really good actor. And like, I felt really bad for him. And it was good.
And they treated him.
I know. And that's a whole other thing you can Google with Ray Fisher and Joss Whedon. I thought that was really messed up that they cut so much. I can't even say so much. Like, they really screwed over Cyborg in Justice League. But Snyder Cut was super cool. I loved his character. I loved Flash's character. So part 3 was...
Upgrade.
Part 3. So good also. So part 4 is called Change Machine. And this scene was, like, for me, I was already, like, falling in love with this movie. And then this whole part happened. And I was like, son of a bitch, I'm in. Like, oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, this is a really cool set piece, I feel like.
I loved the part with Victor and Barry, how they were saving the people. And I just liked how he was going back and forth and he was like, gotta move faster. Like, that was funny. Batman felt a lot more useful in this scene.
Yeah, because he had those cool things.
Yeah, he had like the little energy things. But just in general, I just felt like he was doing more in this movie.
I really like the part where Cyborg takes control of Batman's robot, like I forgot what it was called, the crawler, I think it's called the Nightcrawler or something. Yeah. And he just like unloads on Steppenwolf like all of the bombs, you know, and then the missiles. That was really cool.
That part though, I was like all in because I was like, dang, this looks good. This is a really cool action scene. I love the fighting. Everybody had a part in it, which I liked. The last part of part 4 was there's a scene with Martha and Lois, and it's different from their scene in the other one, because in the other one, Lois is working at the Daily Planet. Why do I always want to say Daily Bugle? Is that Spider-Man?
That's Spider-Man, yeah.
Daily Planet, and she's back at work like nothing, and they just kind of have a little conversation, but in this one, it's a lot sadder, and because like Lois is depressed, and she's been going to the memorial for Superman like every day. And she's still like sad, which I mean, yeah. But then Martha leaves, and then she becomes the guy from the Batman versus Superman, like the that was him, right?
Yeah, the general guy. Yeah,
but then the general becomes an alien, and then he just leaves, and I was like, what was that? And I was so confused because I was like, what? You really, like, you tricked her. Like, you know what I mean?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? What's your end game there? Why would you do that? Like, why didn't you just come as the general or something and talk to her?
You know her.
Yeah, so it's like, why'd you dress up like Martha? That
was a little weird.
And I get that if you know who the character is, because then they do explain the character later. But in that moment, I didn't know who that character was, so it really took me out. Where I was like,
"It's funny too the way they shot because her eyes turned red." I was like, "Evil."
So I kind of didn't like that, just because I don't like being confused. So part 5, we're almost there, guys. It's all the king's horses, and on this one, this is the scene where we get Superman back from the dead.
They barely buried him.
Yeah, like he was in the dirt.
Like, he was like maybe what? A foot in the ground?
I know, that was another thing that we found funny, was that when they showed all the 3 mother boxes that got separated, and the Atlantans built like a fortress, and the Amazons, and they show man, and they took like a shovel and took 2 shovels full, and were like, this will keep it safe, and it was like, they didn't even try, so they barely covered Superman. Get his body, take him to his ship.
Yeah, the Kryptonian ship,
Take him there. And this part, though, was pretty wild.
They kind of start introducing what the Flash can do, you know, with, like, the time.
Was that on this part?
Yeah, when
he touches the thing.
Yeah, when he touches the thing, And, it, like, because it hits in the original.
Oh, yeah, it did go backwards.
Yeah, it went, like, he missed it.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, that's good.
Yeah,
it hit the water. And then it came back up with the picture.
Yeah.
But my dumbass thought that the picture made it bounce back up. I'm stupid.
No.
I'm dumb.
No.
Oh, yeah. Good catch. I didn't catch it at all.
Yeah. So,
I was confused.
So they kind of start which leads into other stuff. If you watch, like, the cartoon, you're like, you know what's coming up. Crazy.
Cyborg goes to, like, touch the mother box or do something, and he flashes to like what's gonna happen maybe if they do bring back Superman.
Yeah.
And it's intense because he sees all of like their deaths. So we see Wonder Woman dead and her mom mourning her. We see Aquaman get murdered, which was pretty crazy.
He gets stabbed
with like a trident.
Yeah.
We see
You see
Superman with Lois's like burned body, and then we see Superman holding Batman's like head or his cowl.
Yeah.
It's dark. It's a very dark scene where it's like, oh dang.
Yeah, and we see kind of Darkseid being the father figure for Superman.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, what's going on here? Yeah.
And then during this time too, as they're gonna reanimate Superman, we see Lois, and she gets her press release badge, like she's gonna go back in the world. But we also see, which I'm surprised I didn't go with, but she has a pregnancy test in her little drawer, like when she takes off the thing. So I thought, oh, they're gonna have a baby. Spoiler alert, they didn't. But I thought they were going to.
Maybe they're just dropping the seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but I think another thing that was kind of cool too was what was I gonna say? Dang it! I literally just forgot what I was gonna say. When they were doing the little, he was running, right? He looked normal. He was running like kind of cool, you know?
Yeah.
Not like the other one was like.
Yeah, what was that? We're talking on his legs. He's like.
Who runs like that?
Then this one, he was like more still and it looked cooler.
Yeah, I like too, like the ship was like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Aquaman, this is a bad idea. And then Batman's like, do it. And the ship says something kind of crazy. It's like the future is now in the present or something like that.
Something like, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh man.
It seemed creepy. But
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah. And then that leads into Superman going to the memorial. This part was basically the same as the other one. Oh, Henry Cavill's mouth is fixed. And it's not distracting anymore, which is good. So the fight scene happens with Superman and the Justice League. And it's really, really cool. It's almost exactly the same as the other fight, and yet not. Because it's better. Because on this one, he's gonna kill people. They have like a tank or Humvees, and he's just like lasering them, which he didn't do in the other one because they weren't there. But he could have killed them, and then he throws the tank or something, and then Cyborg saves them, which was also in the trailer, and that was cool. And then it makes more sense why Lois is there, because she was leaving the memorial, and then she saw Superman, and then she came back to the memorial. Yeah. Whereas in the other one, Batman just brought her.
Yeah, it's like Alfred, like my trump card.
It was so dumb.
Yeah.
But this one, it made more sense. The fight was really cool. It kept a lot of the same stuff. It was just good. Yeah. Just so good.
I loved it.
Steppenwolf gets the third and final mother box. And that part was really sad because in Justice League, Cyborg's dad lives.
Yeah.
And they're happy. In this one, that doesn't happen.
No. And they weren't really on good terms either.
Mm-mm. Like I said, he had daddy issues.
Yeah.
But that scene was really sad because that was his dad. And he died.
Yeah, and Steppenwolf, like, just messes him up too, you know?
Yeah.
Final mother box, right? And he takes him back to
the
Chernobyl.
City. Chernobyl. And then they go back, and that's how part 5 ends. So part 6, the final, almost final part until the epilogue, is called Something Darker. This is the big climax. This is
the third act.
This part starts off with Lois and Superman, which is nice, establishes them more in their love. Because I swear they did have more of a love story in this movie than they did the other 2 movies, I felt like. Yeah, so that was nice to just have them like reunite, and then Martha comes and they're all happy, and he's like, they woke me up for a reason. I'm gonna go find out what the reason is. Alfred got introduced to the Justice League. That was really cute. When they're gonna go onto the ship on the plane that Cyborg fixed for them, they go up on this ramp up there and they're looking up. But on this one, as opposed to Justice League, Alfred is also there with them. And I was telling Jessie during Justice League, another gripe of mine was I hated how there were like 6 different hero shots with all of them looking up in the sky or slow motion or cool. There were like 6 of them leading up to the anything, like to the big climax. Yeah. So by the time you get to the climax and they have a hero shot, it's like,
we've seen
seen this. You've done it. With Avengers 1, the iconic scene when they show all of them in the circle, it's like earned because that's the first time they've been together. It's really good.
They devised a plan.
They do.
They have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they didn't have a plan in Justice League. I think they just said they were gonna go attack, and that's it.
That is true.
And
Yeah.
At least this one, they're like, okay, they have like this dome, and it's like we just gotta take out the whatever
the tower
thing is, and then everything comes down. And you go in there.
In the Justice League, they added this stupid family for no reason. Why are people living next to this nuclear reactor? Like, should they have like foots growing out of their head? And then Barry said it, and he's like, "Oh, nobody's around there. Who would live there? They'd have foots growing out of their head." And I was like, "That's what I said." Like, thank you, because I don't know why they added that family. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. We get this part, which was really, really cool, with Superman.
Oh yeah.
It was a voiceover with both of his dads. So you got Russell Crowe's voice, who just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like,
he was really good at Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like my favorite part, and then he died. Which I knew was going to happen, but still.
Yeah.
But they have the Russell Crowe voiceover, and then the Kevin Costner voiceover, and like Superman's walking to the ship, and they got the Superman theme playing, which is just like...
I don't think they had that in Justice League.
No, but the Superman part?
Yeah.
Nothing. He just showed up.
Even the music too, though. They didn't have...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they finally show the moment that Jesse's been waiting for.
Black Superman suit.
Mm-hmm. Which was thought to not exist.
No, they said it didn't exist. It wasn't real. It was real.
And then it's like, fly, son, it's time. And then, boom! Oh, that was cool.
Great payoff.
It was good. It was just crazy to watch that and think that that wasn't in the other one. There was no Superman scene. He just showed up at Chernobyl and was like, "Hey guys, need a hand?" or something stupid. I don't know. Because Superman is kind of a big deal. And then in the other one, he wasn't. I like that scene better than all of them still.
Oh, I thought that scene was actually a callback to Man of Steel.
I know it was, because they showed the thing.
And they do the little sonic boom, boom. Yeah.
At this point, we're already like 3 hours in, I think. But
Yeah.
we finally get our first real superhero shot. And Superman's not there yet, but they have the doors come down and the smoke and them, and they look really cool. And then I was like, that's what I wanted. Like, this feels earned. Cyborg's gonna like
jack himself
jack himself. Sounds funny. He's gonna like, I don't know. Is there another way to say that?
Connect, I guess.
There you go. He's gonna connect to the boxes, to the Unity. And they're gonna separate them.
Gross.
Him and Superman are gonna separate them together. And so that's the plan. And Flash is like charging it so he can touch it.
He needs enough charge to separate them. That's
there you go.
Thing was.
So right off the bat, Flash already has more of a part than he did in the other one, because the other one he was just tasked with saving the family.
Yeah, the Russian family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the scene starts. When the parademons were coming in, and they just show the Batmobile's light, and he just pew.
That was really cool. That was awesome.
Because Batman, I have not liked Ben Affleck's Batman, because Christian Bale is my Batman. But in that moment, that was so freaking cool, because I love Batman, and these movies have not done him justice. So that scene right there was like, oh man, so good. And then when the parademon ripped off his thing and it looked like he was about to die, and who comes? Wonder Woman. And she's just slow motion slices him.
Oh yeah, that was pretty
She
cool.
comes, then Aquaman comes, and they're all helping Batman to like get to somewhere. They were shooting at the tower? I don't remember. It was so cool because there wasn't a scene like this in the other one. The other one was so rushed, and this one was like, boom, Wonder Woman's helping. Boom, Aquaman. Oh, here's Cyborg flying. Oh, there's Flash running. And then it's like all of them, and it slows.
Yeah.
And again, he doesn't know this yet, like how I felt about it. I had chills.
Yeah.
I almost felt like crying because it looked really cool. And I couldn't believe that I even felt that way.
Really?
I loved it. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, it did.
Like, it could have been corny, but because the movie was so it delved so much into everybody's story and really developed them more.
Yeah.
It felt so different and earned. And it was just a really cool scene. It was like the little and then it went. I was like, oh. I had chills. And I was like, oh man. And I didn't want to tell him how I was feeling because I was like, let's wait till we do this little review so we talk about it. But that part was like, oh.
I really liked the use of the Batmobile in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I liked it in well, we only see it in Dawn of Justice, you know. But it was really cool. The Batmobile never really got play.
It didn't.
In any of this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, I feel like we finally got a payoff. And like, it's like, okay, what is this Batmobile about? You know what I mean?
It was really awesome.
And it's about mowing down people.
Yeah. They have not made Batman cool this entire time. He's just been there. Because, and even in this one it was kind of funny because every time they'd have a fight, like when they first fight Superman, and with this, he always shows up like 20 minutes later. And I'm like, you can give him a ride. Like Cyborg could pick him up and fly with him. I really don't have that many notes because I was just so in it for this whole scene. Like from the part where he started shooting and took off to when they got to the point to fight with Steppenwolf. I was just like, I felt like a little kid again where I was just like, more. Like I could not, like my mouth was like dry because I was just like, okay. So then we finally get to Steppenwolf again, who is there. So they start fighting him. He's gonna kill Cyborg. So he has this gigantic axe that's on fire, and he goes, this. And who's there but Superman?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm not impressed or something. And then he just goes, and he blows out his hammer thing.
Which was way better than it did in Justice League.
Did he do it in that one?
Yeah, he like...
Oh,
he's
I
like,
don't even remember.
on
On this one, he barely went...
Yeah.
Like, the disrespect of it all. So he just blows it out, and then he, like, beats the crap out of Steppenwolf.
Superman keeps beating him up. Like, really bad. I don't know how to feel about this. I liked it. I thought it was cool, but I'm like, you can stop. He's dead.
He cut off his horn. He's lasering him. Like, he was real mad. And I was like, huh. I don't know if they were doing that to set up like the future storyline where he's evil. Maybe?
Yeah, like what he's capable of.
Yeah, but that was pretty wild. I mean, I didn't mind it though. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that he killed Zod.
Yeah.
I was like, eh.
That's my favorite part of that movie, is when he kills Zod.
They end up failing.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty wild. They fail. He puts the mother box in. Darkseid comes. And then, boom. And I didn't get at first what happened. I was like, what's going on? But they all died. Like, he killed them. Like, melted them. And Flash is on the other side of town. And that's when we're not introduced because he already did it with the box. But then we're seeing more of a payoff that he can alter time.
Yeah.
But he goes and he's reversing time. And you see, like, Superman bloody and dead. And then he comes back. And then they show Cyborg. And they all come back. And Flash is able to get to Cyborg, who goes back into his computer world. But he's with the mother boxes now. And his family's there. And like, oh, come with us. Like, my poor broken boy. And then he says, I'm not broken and I'm not alone. And I thought that was a really cool scene.
Yeah, that was a really cool payoff.
And him and Superman rip the boxes apart. And boom, they get rid of Darkseid. But before the portal closes, they beat the crap out of Steppenwolf again. And they just thought, oh no, because Aquaman stabs him.
Right through the back and through the chest.
And Superman hits him and everybody just gets a turn. And then the one who gets the most, because they were really fighting throughout the whole thing, was little Miss Diana Prince. And they pull or they kick Steppenwolf's body through the portal. But then, boom, she cuts off his head.
That was
so good.
That was pretty crazy too.
And Darkseid's like, oh, he failed and we'll come back again. So it was trying to set up something, but I don't think we're ever going to get what they were going for. No, that's just unfortunate what could have been.
Yeah.
And so they defeat Steppenwolf. Darkseid is gone for now. And our heroes have saved the day. And then they show all of them. Superhero shot with Superman this time. And the music, the showing each and every one of them. Like, it's just a good looking shot.
I think it was really cool how Superman pulls Batman out of the darkness.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I
Man,
think that's
he's catching like way more than I did. I have all my notes in for what? But wait, there's more.
I know. I was like, okay, that's cool.
It's like, man, I was like, bravo, you could just end it right now. And then I think we paused it for some reason. And then it said there was still like 40 minutes. And I was like, oh. And then that's when it gets to the epilogue, which is called A Father Twice Over. They're showing shots of Cyborg, a Flash with his dad, which was it was almost basically the same as the other movie.
Yeah.
It was just a really nice ending. And then there were still 20 minutes. Now, here's my thing with this next section. I didn't mind it. I figure, it's Zack Snyder's cut. This is his vision. And they gave him the money to work on this movie and to release it. So might as well make all the movie that you want to make.
It almost like they start going Lord of the Rings here.
Yes. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm still in it. I still like it, but I'm getting kind of tired. And I was like, all right. So then it goes into Lex Luthor and Deathstroke. Deathstroke apparently is mad at Batman and wants to take him down. And Lex Luthor's like, his name's Bruce Wayne. So it's like, oh, now he knows Batman's identity. Roll credits. And then it keeps going.
This was kind of weird.
There was no real transition. It just started with the whole thing of Batman's dream of the future. So you got Mira, you got Flash in his crazy suit, got Cyborg, Batman, and Deathstroke.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there's Joker, and I think Joker's working with them.
I don't know if he just popped out or...
Yeah, where did he come from?
Or if he was just there with them?
I think he was there with them. I think he was just sitting on the car and they just had an angle.
Yeah.
So then we have Jared Leto's Joker back from Suicide Squad, but a different take than that one. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
To see the back and forth of that they're working together. Jared Leto is not my favorite Joker. But he was better here than he was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And he looked terrifying. I was so freaked out because the way they shot it was very blurry and he was never quite in focus.
I'm like, was he eating people?
I'll say that he was the scariest Joker I think I've seen because he freaked me out.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I'm over this. Like, this is scary.
He has like all these badges, like
all the police he killed
sheriff
or something.
badges or something. It's like yellow gloves.
Yeah. Like dishwashing gloves. And I was like,
dishwashing
okay.
gloves.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So then him and Batman have this exchange because Joker's taunting Batman about killing Jason.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah.
Not Dick Grayson.
No, not Dick Grayson.
Okay. Well, he killed Nightwing?
No, he killed Robin.
I'm confused. So it's just this exchange, which was fine. It was cool.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Superman comes and that's who they were hiding from and he's evil and then he's about to kill them and boom, Bruce wakes up. And it's like, okay, this is a dream sequence that we're still in this movie.
Yeah.
All right. And then Bruce gets a visitor and lo and behold, it's that crazy alien imposter from the middle of the movie from like 2.5 hours back.
Yeah.
The one who was pretending to be Martha. And then Bruce is like, oh, who are you? And he's like, I go by many names. Anyways, and I'll be here to help or something like that.
Where was he at when everything was going crazy?
Where were you? And then he's about to leave. And that's when, I think Bruce asked him, like, oh, like, what's your name? Or maybe the guy's like,
what's your name?
What's your name? What? What's your name? And then he says he's Martian Manhunter?
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter.
He's kind of like the vision
Oh.
of the Justice League.
And then Martian Mindhunter flies away. And that's how they end the movie.
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
I wanted Green Lantern to show up. But we didn't get that.
I wish it had... I don't know what I want. I wish it had ended when it ended on the hopeful note, and then put credits, and then put these maybe like as a 20-minute end credit scene, just to kind of give me time to breathe.
Yeah, there's a lot to throw at you.
Yeah, and I understand. They got the time, they got the money, let's just keep it going. But it was just a little bit, Lord of the Ringsy of...
It was a Lord of the Rings vibe.
Overall, it was such an improvement over Justice League.
Night and day, really.
If I'm talking about Justice League, we're talking about Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
The other one, we don't know her.
Nah.
She doesn't exist. Who is she? I was so very happy with this movie, and I loved it.
I feel like finally HBO Max comes out with a movie that's good. HBO Max or something.
But yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. Oh, we didn't even tell you guys about our rating system.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know how I'm going to put it in here because I don't know how to really edit things. This might be our only video again. We don't know.
I don't know.
Our rating system for now goes, if we think a movie is outstanding, like top tier, great, then that movie will receive 2 twin grins.
Ooh.
And it's a Happy Miles and a Happy Violet.
Like this.
I can't do it though. I doubt I'm going to be able to put it in. But you get 2 twin grins.
Yeah.
2 twin grins is fantastic movie. Unbelievable.
Go watch it.
The middle tier is a movie that was a movie.
Yeah.
And if you get that, then you get 1 suspicious miles. I feel like I think I'm just gonna put a picture over a thing. 1 suspicious miles means
it's a movie.
It was whatever. But the worst one that you can get, the movie that is just awful, made me feel like, what a waste of time, horrible. Those movies will get 1 vomiting Violet. I'm telling you, look at it's not going to be, and it's just us doing this. You get 1 vomiting Violet if it's a terrible movie. So that's our grading system, the 3 levels. And for this one, for me, personally, I am giving Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 twin grins. 2 twin grins.
I agree. It's really good. 2 twin grins.
2 twin grins. So, on that note, I think we're done with our review. It's super late. I'm really tired.
Yeah.
Maybe on the next video, a little Miles Smiles will make an appearance. But for right now, thank you so much for watching this movie. If anybody's watching, we'll probably get 3 views and it'll just be us rewatching the video.
Yeah.
But if you did like this video, let us know.
Let us know
what you think about the movie. Did you guys like the movie too? Who are we talking to? We're not talking to anybody. But if we are, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching if you did watch.
Yeah, thanks for staying through. Don't be mean in the comments. Or I'll be really sad.
Yeah. And then hit that subscribe button.
And that
or
turn on your notifications. Whatever that means.
The bell thing, do that.
Do that or don't.
Or don't.
I probably wouldn't do it. If I had somebody that told me, I'd be like,
well,
I'm okay, thank you. We will possibly see you guys next time on another episode with us, the Marveling Explorers.
Yay!
Thanks again. Yay!